Well, shit. Greetings, fellow interloper. Taylor here. I decided to do a mashup of all the reality glitches in the No Man's Sky universe, currently at 11. And if you're new to the channel, which most of you are, I started this doing a series, a 16-part series called Interstellar Round Up. And inside each episode, I would do a stabilized reality glitch, a trading post, as well as a paradise planet, and then I added fauna once the pets update dropped. So if you're newer to the No Man's Sky universe, I've collected all of those and put them in one video. And if you're looking for one in particular, I've got all the time codes down below, as well as up in the play area. Enjoy! First up's the somewhat barren planet of Kimage. Ugh, these pronunciations, man. I don't know where they come up with these names. But what's important is it's home of the Rattle Spine, a pretty cool looking trophy if you put it in the right base surroundings. These are pretty easy to spot and can oftentimes be somewhat close together. Remember to scan the surrounding area for question marks. That's the easy way to figure out where to find the trophies once you're on a trophy planet. The other often overlooked aspect of trophy planets is the fact that they nearly always have just one fauna. So once you scan and upload it, you will have achieved the 100% fauna discovery achievement for that planet, all while earning a cool 50 nanites. First up is the mysterious planet of Rydesden T11, home of one of my favorite trophies, the Hex Bush. As much as I love this one, it can be challenging to find unless you know what to look for. Quick reminder, when you're on these planets, there's only one fauna, so make sure and scan it and get those 50 nanites. This terrain is really rocky, so I'm actually going to spawn my freighter in and call up an exocraft so I can get around a little easier. Don't give up on these hex planets. You will find one, just like right here. Do you see it? It's got just a little bit of orange to it, but easily seen when you scan it with the question mark. These things for sure pop out more at night. It's definitely a challenge during the day, but when I made this video, I wanted to show you even during the day, you can still pick out how different it is with the orange on the base there versus the gold, kind of yellowish of the other ones. First up is our reality glitch or trophy planet. We'll be making a stop at Gibraltar Kaha, home of the cable pod. Now, I'll be very honest, these planets don't offer that much in the way of scenery, but the trophies are pretty cool and not all that hard to spot. Ah yes, before I forget, I gotta scan my one fauna so I can claim my 50 nanites. So compared to the Hex Bush, which suck trying to find, these are much easier. You can see the kind of the aqua bluish greenish light on the side. Honestly, you don't even need to scan these. They're the only things that look like it in that size. So you can be sure, anything that has that greenish bluish light on the side, it's going to be a cable pod. They're really just a miniature version of this really big one here, but the really big ones have white lights, not kind of the bluish green lights on the side. Not that you would ever get them mixed up. Swear to God, I feel like HG used like a garden hose for their texture. But look at the side of that. Doesn't that look just like a garden hose? I don't know. Alright, I hope you're rested up and ready to go because we're heading to Galaxy 130, Broomerai. As well as New Mouth, same as the old mouth. Home of the glitching separator, actually described as a columned moon. You'll see columned as kind of a dead giveaway in the name for a glitching separator. If I had to rank the easiest trophies to spot, this would be definitely up there for sure. It's super distinctive when compared to its surroundings, which you don't really even need to scan. Immediately you can see the difference. In fact, the only time I'm using my scanner is just to scan the one fauna here so I can easily get my 50 nanites. Alright, let's get into it. Today we travel to Galaxy 179, Wapaitvus, home to the planet Delosa J15, and a nice collection of capillary shells. They're not quite as plentiful as the last episode when we were doing those glitching separators, which seem to be everywhere. These are just a little bit more spread out, but not hard to find at all. They're fairly easy to spot against the surroundings. Here, obviously it's night, and it's not a problem. They're not like the Hex Bush. Okay, I'm gonna go on record and say the Hex Bush is the hardest one to find. That is an absolute pain in the butt. Today's reality glitch is the Calcishroom, a cool, glowy, egg-type glitch found on the planet Mabel Alpha. These are a little spread out, but there are techniques to find them fairly easily with the help of some transportation. As you can see, these look very similar in size to the other egg-like objects scattered about, but there are some differences to look for. First off, make sure it has that blue curtain of light. Secondly, it has to be floating above the ground slightly. As you can see here, this looks similar, but it's somewhat buried into the ground. These two techniques are helpful because you don't have to be so close to scan them. You can actually tell fairly easily from a distance if it's a Calcishroom or not. Like I mentioned, since they're spread out so much, if you're able, grab your favorite exocraft and you can get around a whole lot easier. Exocrafts with equipped lasers also make it easy to spot Calcishrooms because when they're shot, they won't take damage. Anything that takes damage is obviously not a Calcishroom and not worth getting out of your exocraft to check. Hopefully these techniques help you next time you find yourself on a Calcishroom planet. Our first stop takes us to IMET 84R5, home to the stabilized reality glitch known as the Oscified Star. This probably ranks 2 or maybe 3 on my list of favorite reality glitches, not only because it looks cool, but it's also extremely easy to spot.
One of these things is not like the other.
Ah, yes. The classic song from Sesame Street comes in handy all these years later. When you look at the bright white of the Ossified Star, combined with its glowing turquoise center, it's definitely not like the others. Our first stop takes us to, you guessed it, our stabilized reality glitch planet. Man, we're running out of reality glitches, aren't we? After this episode, unless they add more, let's see, we'll be down to 3 remaining, I believe. We're headed to the planet Aptly X, or 10 if you have a love of Roman numerals. Aptly 10 is home to the Electric Cube, an awesome-looking reality glitch, which makes a great addition to any base. Depending on the planet, these can be pretty easy to find. You generally won't need your analysis visor, since you most likely will identify them well before you get close enough to see the question mark. The nice thing is, they distinguish themselves quite nicely from their surroundings, with their greenish tint. See what I mean? It's also a bonus that they honestly don't seem that spread apart here, so you should have no trouble filling your pockets. Our first stop takes us to the stabilized reality glitch planet of Hueriski Seyo, home of the light fissure. This is my favorite glitch. Among all the glitches, this is by far the most adaptable. You can use it as a traditional light, or if you glitch build, you can build around it to take advantage of its unique movement. You can even change the color of the illumination. It's really awesome. As you're probably picking up on, all the glitches look similar to their surroundings, but all have a slight variation. The light fissure sets itself apart by the tint of its light. Here, it's a good example. I'm actually looking at 3 fissures. Can you spot them? As we move closer, you can see the light has more of a yellow-green tint than the others. Once you see it, you can move around and gather quite a few in a short amount of time. Alright, you know the drill. First stop is our stabilized reality glitch planet. Today we'll get to collect bubble clusters on planet Rivadoria 2. So there's good and bad news. Which one do you want first? Just say it out loud. Okay, well the bad news is that these are impossible to distinguish from their surroundings. Impossible. The good news is they actually show up on your analysis visor up to 100U away and are not too spread apart, at least on this planet. In just a short amount of time, I was able to snag like 5 or 6. And for everybody who thinks these bubbles are filled with blood, I've seen that a few places, they're actually filled with Merlot. Little known fact. And when you shoot them, you actually get a variety of things. Apparently they'll even attack. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Stop. We will stain your armor. First stop is our final reality glitch. I know, it's an emotional time for everyone. Our final glitch is the Terbium Growth, located on a planet with way too many syllables. Uptanyanes Itsu. Sorry, that's the best I can do. These are a really cool metallic sculpture looking thing that seem like they'd be more at home in a museum of modern art than on a planet. These things are easy to find, but can be spread out somewhat. If you keep one thing in mind, it makes it a lot easier. They will be floating, but they won't be spinning. And of course, like any other reality glitch, if you fire your mining laser at them, they won't take damage. Easy peasy. Hey, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I hope you found something useful, and it was kind of fun putting all these 11 different glitches together. If you like this video, you might like these as well. And if you want to help this channel grow and show up for more people when they're searching for stuff, leave a comment down below, even if it's meh. You can just literally say meh, and it will help this channel, believe it or not. It's all about the analytics, I guess. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. This is Taylor with Whiskey Barrel Gaming, signing off.